It's the Garnet Trust Hour on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
All right, what's up? Welcome back in. Garnet Trust Hour. Joined by a very, very special guest. I am Wes Mitchell. He is Chris Clark, 107.5 The Game. We got a local legend and now South Carolina sophomore, DQ Smith. DQ, welcome into the studio. How we doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, thank you for being here, man. So, we were talking actually to your teammate and your defensive backfield mate, Nicky Memori, on the show a couple weeks ago. And we're talking about how exactly 1 year ago, he wasn't even on campus yet. You weren't even on campus yet. And could you have ever thought then, fast forwarding to now, that you were going to play as many snaps as you did, you were going to break into the starting lineup, and now you're sitting here going into year two as a starter in the SEC, man?
Coming into college, I really didn't see this happening this early. I knew it would happen eventually, but not this early. But all the hard work that, we put in together and on our separate ways as well, I know eventually it would come.
So I want to kind of go back. I know you were playing quarterback in high school, right?
Correct.
Were you still playing some DB during your career in high school? Or
high school, I never touched the side of defense ever. I never ran no plays, tackled, nothing. It was just straight quarterback, throwing the football.
So I remember actually following your recruitment, maybe even interviewed you at some point, and I think at one point in your recruitment, you're like, man, I'm going to be a quarterback in college.
Right, yeah. I was laser focused on being a quarterback. That's what I wanted to be. That's what my heart was. That's what people around me, during that time was telling me I was. So, I was sticking to that, and I was really believing that. But as, time went on, I was really, gathering my options more, really coming back, thinking about this, my future more. So, that's where South Carolina came into play.
Do you remember kind of when along the way it was that you started to kind of shift towards, all right, I might actually be a DB. I might be a DB at the next level? Because I remember you had some offers to play quarterback, but then obviously you had this home state offer to come play DB. When did it kind of start to shift in your mind?
It was when South Carolina played North Carolina Duke Mayo Bowl. It started switching in. I told my dad, I was like, I want to play DB now. I'm just seeing the guys above me, Darius Rush and RJ and all those guys, I really wanted to play DB from that game forward. Just seeing the culture South Carolina had as well, and I know with Coach Gray being here, he's a great coach, and he can transform me into a DB.
So was it more like, all right, I want to play DB, or was it more like, man, I want to be a part of what they have at South Carolina, and DB is the avenue in order to do that? It
was kind of both, the culture and then, my body type as well. I was a very strong guy coming out of high school, and, just the coaching staff as well. Coach Gray, I know he's one of the best, and, he's coaching in my hometown, so why not, give it a shot.
So Robin Bacon, shout out to him, was your high school coach at Spring Valley. Just got a new job at American Leadership Academy, but he helped you guys out a lot in my experience. With he would send me spreadsheets on all his players, D3, D1, all different levels. But just tell us a little bit about how he helped you navigate your recruiting process.
Since the first day I stepped the foot onto a high school campus, he's always been there, whether it's off the field, on the field, dealing with anything in life, he's always been there. And then when it came to, recruiting wise, he always sent in constantly coaches our film, what we're doing in classrooms. So, he's always been like a great guy to us, not as more like a older parent to us as well, because he take care of us off the field. So, he's always been a great guy off the field, but recruiting is the main thing he's been helping us with.
I remember, I think this was after it kind of got out that you were going to be going to South Carolina. I talked to Coach Bacon about you, and he mentioned a game that Torian Gray had come to watch you. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir, I do. It was our first playoff game this year.
Okay, so I think it was something that Coach Bacon said, like, yeah, Coach Gray came and watched him. Obviously didn't see him play a single snap of DB because you didn't play any DB.
Exactly.
But it was something like you just were running guys over at the goal line, and he just wanted to see you be physical. What do you remember from that?
Before the game, Coach Gray did come up to me. I was getting acknowledged that he was coming before the game. Coach Bacon was telling me. So, I just wanted to make sure I was in my right state of mind so I can go into the game week knowing that I have a coach here to watch me so I don't embarrass myself in front of the coach, obviously. But, Coach White and Coach Gray also did tell me, like, the reason they saw DB even because I was aggressive and I was running kids over. So, I actually did it when I first scored versus a game when he was there.
Yeah,
so.
I think that was the exact play he referenced.
So I do think there is something to quarterbacks transitioning to other positions. We see that like a lot. It seems like if a guy buys into it, like I feel like if you had probably been in that same mindset of like, I'm a quarterback, but I'm having to play another spot. Maybe it doesn't work out quite as well, but we want to go back in time. Kenny McKinley, one of the best wide receivers in South Carolina history, he was a high school quarterback. I think Clayton White.
He was.
He was a high school quarterback. How much did your experience playing QB and just having to know maybe at that time schemes and what the defense is trying to do to you, how much did that help on the other side with your transition, a smooth transition to playing DB?
At quarterback, you're taking control of the offense. But so at safety, it's kind of the same thing. So on offense, I know a lot of schemes, a lot of teams like to run on. So coming to defense, when they line up in a certain formation, I know what I can expect out of this formation. So, that just come with me playing quarterback, having that knowledge. So, it was pretty easy transition for me.
A couple of South Carolina's best DBs in history. Stephon Gilmore played some quarterback in high school, and DJ Swearinger played both ways. He was a high school quarterback too. He always killed T.L. Hanna, my alma mater up at Greenwood. So he was fantastic. But what was the biggest transition for you, like stepping onto the field? Okay, now I'm day one practice at DB. I haven't played this since 8th grade. What was the one thing you could point to that was maybe the most difficult?
The most difficult, I would say, on offense, you're kind of running away from guys. And, when they come to you, you kind of want to run them over. So, like on defensive side, I had to get used to me going to attack those guys now. Just being a more physical person than I was on offense. So, just going to make plays and going to the ball instead of always making people miss. That probably was the hardest transition for me.
Was there a moment sort of in preseason camp last year where you sort of started to feel it kind of click for you? Because I distinctly remember DQ. So Nick had started to get a little bit of publicity, and Coach Beamer was asked about the young DBs. And I remember him being like, yeah, so we got 2 local guys, and he's like, Nick and DQ. And that sort of perked up because whenever a head coach just brings a guy up out of nowhere, generally there's a reason for that.
Correct.
And, you transitioned from quarterback to DB. I don't know if the expectations from people like us were that you were going to come in and play right away, just to be honest. So was there a moment when early on you kind of just started to feel more and more comfortable during preseason last year?
Yeah, definitely when it came to fall camp. Coach Beamer, he's a huge believer in contact, being the most physical team. So, in practice we hit a lot. So, just doing hitting drills consistently. Sometime in fall camp, we was doing the hitting drill and I was just hitting people. So, it really started to catch on to me. And then special teams drills with Coach Limbo, we're very physical in his drills as well. So, just continuously getting those reps with hitting, that's when I started catching on the fall camp.
So do you like to hit?
I do now.
Did that surprise you that you like to hit a little bit?
I wouldn't say it surprised me because I was already a physical guy.
Yeah.
But I had to get used to hitting people, and that's the thing. On offense, I'm really just hitting them. Really, I'm just trying to run them over.
Right.
So, yeah.
So not only do you play last year, you actually ended up playing quite a bit of nickel and safety.
Right.
And so if I remember correctly, I think first couple of games you were at safety. Then I think actually Georgia game, you slid down to nickel. Then you were playing more safety towards the end of the year.
Right.
What is the difference for you between like playing those 2 spots? Like, do you have much of a preference, or is there not a ton of difference just in your mind?
There's a huge difference in between those 2 positions. At safety, you have to be more of a person that talks more, a more vocal guy. When at nickel, you just getting the call from the safety and just playing from there. I don't really have a preference. I'll just play whatever helps the team more. I'm all about the team first. So, whatever helps the team more, I would play definitely.
Don't give this away if it's, I don't think it's a giveaway, but when you're playing safety, so it's you, Nick, back there, right? Mm-hmm. Who's making the call? Like, you're getting it from the sideline, but then which one of you guys is communicating that?
We get
the nickel.
We get the call. We communicate it on both of our sides. We both have to make calls.
Side.
Yeah. So with the nickel side, he usually make the call to the nickel and the safety. or if I'm at strong safety, I'll make the side to the nickel in the corner. So, and then free safety, we have to get a call to sometimes the linebackers and then the corner. So, we both communicate no matter the play call, no matter what it is, we both communicate.
When you got to South Carolina, how did Coach White, Coach Gray determine, okay, we feel like DQ is a nickel, a safety, as opposed to even just, we think maybe he can play corner? I mean, what did they see from a skill set perspective?
I thought just from coming from the offensive side of the ball, how fast I was catching on to things. In practice, I was really the plays I was executing them at a high level. So, I was doing what they was telling me to do, using the right technique, everything they was telling me to do, I was doing. So I feel like that would gain confidence in them to trust me to go out there and play different positions on the field.
All right, DQ, we got to take a quick break. We're going to hit that now. You're listening to the Garnet Trust Hour, 107.5, The Game, with South Carolina student-athlete DQ Smith. We'll be right back.
It's the Garnet Trust Hour on your home of the Gamecocks, 107.5, The Game.
All right, welcome back in. Garnet Trust Hour. I'm Wes Mitchell. He is Chris Clark. He is DQ Smith, local guy, hanging out with us,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Spring Valley.
Yes, sir.
How fun is that for you, man, to run out of that tunnel with Garnet and Black on your chest, just knowing you went to high school right down the road, man?
Man, it's unbelievable, especially when my parents don't have to travel far to come see me play, so I know they're always in attendance. So, just running out, knowing I'm going to get them everything, as well as my teammates every time, and an unbelievable culture, fan base, they're right behind us. So, it's unbelievable.
So segment one, you were talking about your opportunity to play for Coach T. Gray. This guy is like a DB savant, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
What is it like, just day-to-day basis? Take us into the meeting room, onto the field, just learning, like soaking it up from a guy like that. Because I'll tell you from our perspective, man, put him in a press conference, he's very laid back, very chill, kind of soft-spoken. Then I go watch him on the field,
Oh, my goodness.
and it is like another person.
Oh, yeah.
So what is it like just kind of learning from him day to day?
He's a great coach. He tells us things. He gives us the right technique to use on things, and, those techniques do show up on game day. But it's more than just, us having meetings inside the building and then going to practice. We actually have Zoom meetings as well, the nights, like after practice sometimes. So, just to fix things, because DB is a crucial position, so that's the way he is with his things. He always tells us, if we mess up, it's a touchdown. If we mess up a tackle, they're not going to talk about the people up front that missed the tackle. They're going to talk about the DBs. So, he's, that's why he's on us so much. And, I wouldn't rather have any other coach.
When you look at game 1 last year to game 13, what was the thing that you saw in your own game that you could say, I really grew in this one particular area?
I would definitely say reading formations, different formation sets. But at the beginning of the season, I really was just lining up and playing. Not really knowing what was coming. But towards the end, we started watching more film, started understanding more things. I was able to play and expect things that we watched in film. So, it became easier.
Well, and I think that gets lost a little bit. So we think about what you did last season, how much you played, and how well you played as a freshman. That was impressive, but you didn't go through spring ball last year. Like a lot of guys enroll early, you didn't have that. So now you've gone through year 1, you've done spring ball now, and now you're going into year 2. So how much more comfortable are you just in general?
I'm a more vocal guy now. Coach Beamer, he looks at me as a leader now on the team. So, I have to live up to that standard. So, just being a more vocal guy, making sure everybody on the defense, whether it's the 1s, 2s, or 3s, we're all on the same page. So, that's probably the best thing I have did since last year and this year now. So, just becoming a more vocal guy.
So there's some guys arriving for summer workouts. They're going to be true freshmen. They're going through what you were going through, this time last year.
Right.
Now that you are maybe a little bit more vocal guy, you're actually kind of one of the older guys in the room, even though you're only a sophomore. Right. What advice are you going to have for those guys? Because they're going to be trying to get ready as fast as they can to go try to do what you did last year.
Just take day by day. Just continue to build, get 1% better every single day. Just really study the plays, and continue just to work hard. A famous thing we do, a say in the locker room or in meetings is your hard work makes time for you. Or, just you know, everything you put into it, all the hard work, it will eventually come to light.
So, DQ, one thing about the show, we'd like to let the fans get to know you a little bit off the field, kind of just get to know just your personality, maybe your hobbies. So, if you're not playing football, you're not working out. So, take those two things off the table. What couple of things is DQ Smith doing with his free time?
Probably hanging out with friends, playing video games, or if not video games, bowling or swimming. I'm just now getting into bowling. Me and my dad, actually. We be competitive bowling. So, you know, out of those things, that was probably what I'm doing.
Okay, we got a lot to unpack, even from that little sentence. Shout out to Dad. Hopefully he's listening.
Definitely.
Can you beat Dad in bowling?
Easily.
Easily.
Not even close.
Easily.
Okay, Dad, you heard that. Challenge has been thrown down.
He give me some competitive sometimes, but most of the time, I'm a winner.
How long have you been bowling?
I say about a year and a half now. I started really getting into it.
So what is your best ever?
Oh, my best ever probably was 197.
Okay.
That's solid.
Very solid. And then swimming, are we talking about just like relaxing at the pool, or are we talking about like getting in and doing some freestyle 100-meter?
Definitely not that. Just going chilling. You know, I'm not the best swimmer. I can admit that, but you know, I do know how to swim. I say that part.
Yeah,
so
that's
just relax.
That's what I call swimming too.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not getting in the lane. Like my wife can get in the lanes and just destroy me. Time trials.
She puts on like the cap and just.
Oh yeah, man. She can do the whole thing. We need so you don't golf. We need to make sure because everybody on the team seems like they're golfing now.
When we went to Top Golf for our bowl game, I was terrible. That's how I know I don't golf. So I couldn't even admit I do that.
What about all right, give us your top few food options. Not specific places necessarily, but just your favorite dishes. What are your go-tos? In the building, when you're at home cooking, whatever.
Number one would probably be mac and cheese. Definitely. That's always been a favorite. Something else I would probably say is chicken and shrimp Alfredo. I really love that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I really love that one. And after that, my dad makes all the time probably ribs. Those are my top three. Yeah, I love those.
I'm hungry.
All right, I'm getting hungry just talking about this. Mac and cheese, are we talking like baked mac in the oven? Are we talking about growing up on some of that Kraft box, the Velveeta box? Just any mac and cheese?
Nah, it's baked mac and cheese.
Okay.
And it has to be my dad's. If not, I won't eat it. So.
Well, it sounds like we need to go to Dad's house.
Yeah,
Hey,
we
I
get
agree.
some
good
I
stuff.
agree, man. I agree.
Well, so Dad got no props on his bowling, but at least his food is getting.
Yeah, he got the cooking part. He got
okay. Do you cook much at all? Have you gotten into that? Hesitation from you, I feel it.
I learned from him a little bit, but as a priority, nah, I don't really look at it like that.
How important is nutrition for you moving forward? Like, kind of eating the right things. I know that for everybody, that's like a constant battle. But taking the next step as a player, how much does that factor into you moving forward?
You know, that is the toughest battle I think all athletes have is eating the right things. But, you know, in order to be the best version of yourself, you have to put the best things in your body. You know, I'm having a little tough time with it now, but I'm getting better at it, I would say.
Yeah, so not just all athletes. That's all human beings.
Oh, yeah.
All people, all of us.
Correct.
So when you're coming in, you got Baltimore Ravens tag? Are you Ravens fan?
Oh, yes, I am.
Yeah? Is that a player or a specific connection to Baltimore? Or?
No, ever since, I would say our Joe Flacco days, I've always been a Ravens fan. We won the Super Bowl versus the 49ers. I became a Ravens fan that day.
Yeah. See, I was sitting there thinking about, the first thing I saw, literally, I was like, Ravens, Ed Reed. And I was like, no. DQ was a quarterback. So you're a Flacco fan? Like, that was your guy?
I love the defense because, our defense was great that year.
Mm-hmm.
But I also love the players we had on that side of the ball as well with Ray Rice and Jacoby Jones and all those guys.
Had some guys.
Oh, yeah, we did.
That was a good team. Any others? Do you watch any other sports besides football? Like, you got any other teams? NBA, MLB?
I do watch a little bit of basketball. I'm a Lakers fan. Well, I would say I'm a LeBron fan. But, that's probably the only two sports I really watch. I try to get into baseball, but the games be taking too long, so I can't stay focused that long.
Let me open you up for some controversy because you mentioned when you said Lakers, that was going to be my follow-up question. Are you Lakers or are you LeBron? So you're a younger guy, but is he the GOAT?
LeBron is the GOAT.
Okay.
LeBron is the GOAT.
Oh, boy.
Man.
Phone lines are lighting
Clayton
up.
White is on line one right now.
Me and Coach White be arguing about this all the time. LeBron is the GOAT, man.
Make your case.
Yeah, what is your pitch here?
I feel like LeBron is the GOAT because of the teams he have carried to the finals. Not only that, he is the leader in all-time scorer now. But when we talk about rings, Jordan does have more. But at the same time, it's like Jordan had a better team, in my opinion. The years he did go, LeBron had to face, super teams in the finals and all of that. So.
Hey, now the one I will say, I feel like I could argue either way. LeBron, some of those Cavs teams he took to the finals, exactly. Those were brutal. Like West was like the 2 guard, I was the point guard. I mean, they were awful. That was awful.
And then not to mention, he came in at 18 years old and been an impact on his team right away.
With the pressure of being
that pressure, and people hate on him so much. But boy, we're really gonna light up the phone lines. He's like a model, like human, like a great dad, great husband by all accounts, but that's how it is when you're at the top.
But hey, so the old heads are never going to change their mind about Jordan.
Ever.
But DQ, you're probably never going to change your mind about LeBron.
Never.
So this is an ongoing battle forever. Coach White probably just ran his car off the road to call in because I've heard he's a big NBA guy. Is that
Coach White?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's he like on a day-to-day basis?
Coach White is more of a laid-back coach, unless we start messing up bad really on the field, then he'll get on us. But most of the time, he's the laid-back coach, while Coach Gray is more the ongoing, talkative coach, really, I would say.
So if Coach White starts getting, like...
Oh, yeah, you messed up. Oh, yeah, you messed up bad. You messed up.
All right, we're hanging out with DQ Smith here at Garnet Trust Hour. Got to take another break. We'll be right back on 107.5 The Game.
It's the Garnet Trust Hour on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
Welcome back in. Garnet Trust Hour here on 107.5 The Game. Wes Mitchell, Chris Clark, hanging out with DQ Smith. Talking a little bit of everything, basketball, football, swimming, bowling. DQ, so summer workouts about to get started back up. What did you do during May? I know May is like the only month y'all truly have not to just sit at home on the couch, but you do get to at least reset a little bit. So what did May kind of look like for you in terms of resetting after spring ball and then getting ready for summer workouts?
I took a couple days off first week of May just to recover, mentally and physically. But after that, it really got back into the working out stages. So just so I won't lose anything I gained from the previous year. So, just being active, working out, lifting on the field, or either playing basketball, all those things just to keep my body active.
Do you work out with any teammates in the month of May? Or are you just out there? Like, what are you doing?
It was kind of like my old friends back home I played football with. We worked out a lot, so, just working out with those guys, catching up with each other, sharing experiences from college, and that's really what.
Are you a post your workouts guy? What do you think of people that post their workouts? You got a strong opinion?
I don't.
Yeah, I know you don't really, but you don't mind it? Other people do it?
Yeah, I really don't mind.
So you brought up basketball. This has been a running topic as well. Do you play much? Do you play much basketball or just?
I don't, but growing up, I did play a lot. So, I think that carried over to me playing now.
So we've asked about everybody that plays basketball, their starting five from the football team. So there's been some very interesting teams. Guys tend to stick to their position groups. So, for example, Boogie Huntley had like 5 defensive tackles, I think. The quarterbacks maybe stick together a little bit. Juice Wells actually didn't put himself on his own team. He said he was going to be the GM because he admitted he wasn't one of the best 5, but he said he still wanted to win. So did anybody come to mind as far as who your starting 5 would be?
Starting 5.
This is a pickup basketball game with your football teammates.
At the 1, at point guard, I'm going to go Spence Rattler. At the 2, I'm going to put myself because I can shoot. At the 3, probably put TJ Sanders.
Okay. I'm really liking where this team is going.
This is a good team.
At the 4, I'm going to go Nick Imawari. And then at the 5, I'm going to go Boogie Huntley.
Most athletic team we've had.
I have one, but it's hard to argue with that team, but I have one. I feel like Tonka Hemingway.
Oh, no. Not Boogie. I'm going to put Tonka at 5. I'm going to put Tonka at 5.
Sorry, Boogie.
I'm going to put Tonka at 5.
Boogie's a good pick, too, though.
Boogie be the 6th man.
Okay. There you go.
I was going to say, you got to have Tonka as a 6th man at least.
Yeah.
That is a good. Ooh, is that the best one?
That might be the best team we've had. So you can shoot it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
That's one thing I can't admit.
Okay. Because have you seen Spence, his tape from high school?
Yes, we did. We watched it one time as a team. Was called.
As a team. Y'all put up on the big screen?
Yeah, it was. I think it was before a game, and we watched like a lot of players' highlights or whatever. And he was on there, and I seen him play.
Well, he got. I don't want to say mad at me. He got a little bit off put because we had him on the show just like this, and I was talking about the highlight tape. So, oh yeah, we won state championship, no big deal, all that. And I was like, yeah, like I watched your highlight tape. Pass first, and he's like, nah, I'm score first. I'm like, oh, okay. So he might want to switch with you.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
I'll take that.
He might just be a scoring point guard.
Yeah, because I'm more of a pass first type guy as well.
He might want to switch.
Yeah.
But I think he did play point guard in high school, and if you turn on his tape, the first like 3 or 4 plays are him like dishing.
He's going like behind the back. I feel like. You watch T.J. Sanders high school tape?
I think we watched that as a team as well. That's how I know. Yeah, he was pretty good.
Now Nick E, I like that pick because I watched him play in high school, and I don't want to say. Hopefully, he's not listening. I don't want to say he was like one of the best players, but he's definitely one of the best athletes. Mm-hmm. And he's got that coaching from Tim Whipple, right, at Irmo. So I like that pick.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go back to football. You and Nick, how much have y'all pushed each other just coming in together? It's the same story. You're both local guys, both defensive backs. You both play as true freshmen. How much do y'all kind of push each other to be each better?
That's my right-hand man. So, after practice, we're getting more work in together always. Not even after practice. On off days when we're supposed to be relaxing, we're still getting work in. No matter what, in film or it's just hitting a dummy or catching balls, it's always something we're doing to get better and pushing each other, and it's a consistent thing that me and him do.
What's so impressive to you about Nick, like his athleticism? Is there something you can point to specifically that you're like, wow?
I say the fact that he's 6'4", 220, and run a 4.4.
Mm-hmm.
Has to be the craziest thing I ever saw. Has to be one of the craziest.
Is he the fastest on the team to you? Overall player?
Yes, I'm betting on him.
Okay.
That's been a debate, too.
Yeah.
Ain't no debate. He already beat AB.
No debate.
He might get some competition with Dante Miller. We call him Turbo.
Yeah.
He might get some competition right there. I think him and AB should run it back because AB said he was tight. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see though.
Nicholas Harbor coming in.
Whoa, I forgot about Nick. It's gonna be a close call.
I would pay. Not a lot, but I would pay a little bit to watch the two Knicks and AB.
Could live stream it.
Line it up.
Definitely live stream it.
Yeah.
But, with Nick being my man, I'm going with Nick.
No, I don't blame that. I'd ride with Nick, especially on we were talking about this when we had Nick on the other day. Long race, like 100, 200, I'm going to take Harbor.
Yeah, probably Harbor.
You got those long strides. It eventually catches up. It's just math and science.
Yeah.
Over 40 yards, though?
40 yards, yeah. Nick even worked.
Nick E.
Yeah.
Over Harbor. Yeah, I can see that. What do y'all do during summer workouts, man? How is that different from winter workouts?
Winter is cold, summer is hot. That's really the only difference. We really do the same things, but just when the summer comes, there's more people there now. You got all the freshmen coming there, some new transfers, anything, Just the chemistry comes tighter during the summer. Winter, we're really just summer. The past season just ended, so in winter we're just really recovering and trying to get our muscle back.
It's less than 100 days until kickoff.
Yes, that's crazy. I feel like the season just ended.
So, transfer portal era of college football we're in right now.
Mm-hmm.
So January hits. You're probably looking around like, who are you? Who's it? So between the freshmen who now everybody enrolls early, probably had I don't know, 10 or more new freshmen around you, new transfers coming in. It's like a true new team every single year. So how important is it for y'all to go ahead and start kind of building those bonds, back in January?
It kind of starts off with Coach Beamer. When those guys first get there, he makes them get up and introduce themselves to the team, in front of everybody. So, and he really prides himself on having the tightest team in the nation. So, after team hours or whatever, we really bond together, try to do things with each other, with the newcomers and the freshmen as well. So, just getting a tighter relationship, doing things off the field that will have a tighter chemistry.
How important is that? Just that having that close team as far as it translating to on-field success?
Because I feel like it's tight because, certain guys you have to talk to differently.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they like, you know what they don't like. So, when it comes to that, if somebody messes up, you yell at this person or you just, tap one on the back, Like, this is what he likes right here. So, just that really, knowing what to hit on. Just it's the simple things that come with it.
Do you feel like that team tightness helps when, so for example, last season, so y'all play Florida.
Mm-hmm.
It goes pretty bad, right?
It was bad.
Pretty bad. And then a lot of people kind of abandon ship. Not y'all, obviously, but some fans and even media. Tennessee game rolls around. I know Wes and I definitely didn't pick the Gamecocks to win that game. How could you?
Right.
But y'all turned around. Y'all beat Tennessee. Y'all beat Clemson. So what do you attribute that to? Does that tightness of the team, did that help?
It definitely did help. Everybody else, we always say the outsiders did not, nobody better than us to win. But inside the locker room, we knew we had the team to beat both of those teams. We had the talent. We had everybody. So, just executing our game plan, coming into the week, focused, we definitely knew what we can do on the field if we play to our potential.
We got to hit one more break here. Garnet Trust Hour, 107.5 The Game, hanging out with DQ Smith. We'll be right back.
It's the Garnet Trust Hour on your home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game.
All right, welcome back in. Garnet Trust Hour, hanging out with DQ Smith here at the 107.5 The Game studios. Wes Mitchell and Chris Clark, DQ, closing this thing out, man. So how would you say the mindset is as y'all get ready to kind of turn that page and get ready for, the season? You start to maybe look ahead. North Carolina open the year. It goes from spring ball, which is more just kind of get better day by day, I feel like, to before you know it, preseason is going to be here, man.
Correct. We really just continue to get better, like the winter as well, this summer. And then, as fall camp rolls in, that's when we started to get our game plan tighter. So, some I would say we're trying to get better at is just being better than last year. I'm just being better than we were before and just continue to get better.
You mentioned earlier that Coach Torian Gray is always talking to you guys about, being the last line of defense, tackling. So one of the off-season talking points for Coach White, Shane Beamer's mentioned it a lot, is run defense, right? So
right.
What have you individually or even collectively, when y'all talk about it as a team and with the coaching staff, is there anything in particular that you've honed in on as needing to really improve to be able to improve the run defense?
Just finding the right gaps. I feel like we did not the best job of it last year, but we were below average, I would say, and finding our run gaps, and that's where a lot of runs broke out at. And also on the perimeter, just knocking the ball back inside, making it come back to the rest of the defense. So, just finding our run gaps and being better on the perimeter is something we pride ourselves on this winter as well.
You feel like in the spring, did you notice an improvement just with you feeling more comfortable and being better there or even just the entire defense?
I did because, I see a lot in practice now when we want them to run the ball. We're daring the offense to run the ball on us now. I dare you to run the ball. So, just so we can show and, also go back and watch film to see that we really got better at this.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like for you to see Cam and Darius live out that dream, get drafted last month, and kind of take that next step?
It was definitely motivation to me, because those guys from South Carolina as well, and they made it to the big league. So, just taking all the knowledge them guys that gave me, they gave me a knowledge, and, you know, I'm speechless. Like, it's definitely possible to do.
What did you see this spring? Marcellus Dial, O.D. Fortune at corner. I think it's kind of one of those things from our perspective. They know the two guys that left. They know there's pressure, but there's also opportunity for the two of them to step in. It feels kind of like at those two corner spots, it's like, hey, next man up. This is what you've worked for. This is your chance. But from your spot, what did you see from Sel and OD this spring?
Those two guys definitely came more vocal. Cam and Rush were two vocal guys that, you know, talked a lot. Not necessarily in games, but in practice. And, you know, those guys, when the defense is starting to talking, we're being more confident. So with confidence, it comes more opportunities and plays we make on the field. So, you know, just seeing those guys become more vocal, leaders on the team as well, you know, that's the thing I would say they stepped up the most.
Are there any guys, you know, start with the defensive backfield, but really you can extend this question to the whole team. Anybody that is not really being talked about that maybe Gamecock fans should know, listeners should know? I know it's kind of putting you on the spot.
I would probably say Donald Fortune and also Kwan Banks. Both of those guys put a lot of time into it, and I think, the fans and even the world will see them shine this year.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing to me because, you know, Carolina signed a really good DB class that year that y'all came in, but you and Nick and Kawan were like the quote-unquote lower-ranked ones, you know, and y'all ended up playing a lot of ball. What is it about Kawan? Like, he's a smaller guy, but he seems like he's got just a knack of getting those bigger guys on the ground.
Hey, he's a smaller guy, but he has a heart of a man. Like he don't care what's in front of him, he gonna go get it.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's the thing I think a lot of coaches realize. And also, he is smart. He played corner, nickel, and safety as well. So, you know, he played all three positions and learned them in 1 year. So, you know, I feel like that's something huge right there, right? And he can teach to the younger guys as well.
Another new guy, DQ, Jalen Kilgore came in early for spring ball. What did you see from him this spring, just kind of as he started to get comfortable out there too?
His toughness, coming out there not really caring who it is going to hit him. You know, his toughness definitely, and that's what something Coach Gray prizes on, is being able to go downhill and attack and not catch offensive player.
I'd asked you a question about the run game earlier from a defensive perspective, but run game on offense has been a big talking point too. So from your side of things, what did you think of DeCarrion Joyner's shift to the running back position?
Tough. You know, I think it's definitely a tough thing to do, but he handled it well. It was something that was very natural for him. You know, when tackling him, you need more than one guy to tackle him. He's a big dude, so, you know, it's been a very easy transition for him, in my opinion.
DQ, we're about out of time here, man. So this interview obviously brought to you by Garnet Trust. So, you know, I guess they put this interview together. What have you seen just from Garnet Trust as you started to work with them and just the NIL space here at South Carolina in general? And, you know, what does it mean to kind of start to see that support from fans via Garnet Trust for student athletes like yourself?
Garnet Trust has been amazing to me, and as well as other athletes that go to our school as well. So, you know, I really want to thank them. And then NIL as well. I feel like it's a huge point in everything. So, you know, NIL has been a great thing to me as well. So, you know, I just want to thank both of those things for being here.
DQ, this has been fun, man. We appreciate you taking the time here today. Appreciate Garnet Trust. For Chris, I'm Wes. DQ, good luck this summer.
Thank you.
Good luck in the fall. And let's do this again, all right, man?
Definitely. Thank you.
All right, he's DQ Smith. For Chris, I'm Wes. This has been the Garnet Trust Hour on 107.5 The Game. Gamecock Central Takeover is next.